Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. In the webinar, first of all, I wanted to introduce the company. Who is Teldat? Teldat is a European company, leader in advanced communication platforms for enterprise environments. We've got products that cover all networking and communication, we could say arena, from SD-WAN networks, WAN edge solutions, VPN routers, wireless solutions, IP telephony. And we are able as well to customize those solutions for our product, for our customers. So we've been successful through the last 35 years by developing some of our solutions, especially for some of the customers. Therefore, we are able to address some specific needs from our customers, which are replicable among other customers. Where are we as Teldat? Okay, Teldat is a worldwide company. As you see, we've got headquarters in Germany and Spain mainly, and offices in the whole Europe, Italy, France, Portugal, as well as in Latin America, Mexico and Peru. Typically, we are partnering with Deutsche Telekom and Ingram Micro in DACH region. We are partnering in Telefonica and Iberdrola, for example, in France, in the Southwest Europe, or Telmex or Uninet in Latin America. Those are referenced as bigger customers. Typically, we are addressing those very exigent customers for their services. And we are as well having our own channel of distributors in other geographies. Those are just a few references. What do we do as Teldat? Teldat is a vendor which is providing or supplying the market with enterprise access and security routers that help corporations and small and medium businesses to connect their branch locations, including some devices on the carrier services for connectivity, for availability, and for security. Of course, we can offer, and we have evolved our portfolio to offer some SD networking and cloud solutions, such that help our customers to do zero-touch rollout, having more visibility, having centralized systems for managing complex networks, having some Wi-Fi centralized management. Of course, we provide some Wi-Fi access points as well for wireless LAN solutions, especially for mobile markets, onboard solutions, but as well on education and hotels. We are providing Wi-Fi. Onboard communication services. So, for example, high-speed trains in Spain have our technology for providing internet on board. Main buses, carriers, or transportation authorities in Europe has our devices for providing communications on their management, on their systems, and for Wi-Fi services. We as well have more than 200,000 devices deployed for ISDN migration in Germany, very famous in partnering with Deutsche Telekom. And we are having as well some IoT and sensors for providing from how the lift is behaving to the measuring the air quality, or providing some information about the temperature of specific places, etc. So that also we are in the IoT market as a vendor supplier of technology. So at the end, we are providing, we are working in all technologies from broadband access, XDSL, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, voice over IP, VPN, cloud management, for all kinds of industries. We're having partners and customers in the industrial sector, in public administration, in trade administration, for service offices, for carriers, etc. And we are working in a very big range of different end customers, from smaller ones, self-employed, up to huge customers such as big retail. In the next slide, you can see some of our references. Mainly, government is using our technology, retail industry is using our technology, financial industry is using our technology. As I mentioned before, we're working with carriers and energy and industrial directly, but for this event, I think it's also representative to know that we're working with main distributors in Europe. How Teldat has been successful and alive for the last 35 years, because innovation is inside our DNA. Currently, we are working in 4 innovation areas. First one is IoT as a service, working with developing different IoT sensors. Today, I will give an example of one of those IoT sensors, for elevators, for light vehicles, advanced onboard communication platform, advanced communication for utilities, and the IoT sensor that I will mention later on for air quality, especially interesting for after COVID crisis. Networking evolution, SD-WAN solutions. We are a leader now in the Iberian market and Latin American market, providing SD-WAN solutions through carriers, but as well they're very useful for system integrators. And we are having some solutions as well, and I will introduce one of them, Visualiser, for network traffic analytics and network performance monitoring and diagnosis. So those are cloud-based solutions based on big data and collecting a lot of information, which I hope that you find them useful. As well, we're working in cybersecurity, providing two different elements, one which is cost-effective and easy to be used security solution, BeSafe Smart. Today, I will explain a little bit more about that. And we are providing a high advanced security solution for those critical sectors such as financial industry, which need to do very advanced security protocols to make sure that that their networks are safe. For example, IDS, IPS, antivirus, sandbox, and all this advanced security stuff. And last but not least, we're working now for digitalization, helping on digitalization of our customers based on machine learning and artificial intelligence set of tools, like, for example, document management platform that is able to use artificial intelligence to read handwritten documents and provide a better result and store that for helping public administrations, specialists, to keep out all the paperwork. We are using some predictive models on the NTA solutions to help our customers to not think so much and have the system telling what is going to happen on predictive maintenance. And we are doing some collaborative events with using some concepts like federated learning, etc., to help on bringing more data to train better our artificial intelligence algorithms. So, as mentioned, today I'm going to speak about three products. BeSafe Smart. BeSafe Smart is probably the easiest way to offer secure internet for small and medium businesses. I hope that you've been able to see our product pitch this morning. Later on, I will give just a few hints about that. We're going to speak today about Visualiser, which is the next generation network traffic analytic tool, which is going to help our partners to understand how the end customers are using their networking technology and their networks. And last but not least, we will speak about IoT as a service with an example of BeAir, which is our solution of sensors to understand the air quality, which we believe that nowadays it's very interesting for those crowded places such as education, such as waiting rooms, cinemas, etc., which are going to be interesting for them to understand how crowded is the environment and how is the air quality of those places. Nowadays, there is more and more people which is worried about that. BeSafe Smart, as mentioned, ideally, the main idea is being a solution which is very easy to be used, which has two different platforms. You can use it through a mobile application or through the web graphic user interface, which mainly is going to help our customers to provide web filtering solutions for filtering the content that the companies and the employees of each company can address. It's going to as well provide some malware protection. Up to 90% of the malware which is in the internet can be detected and can be blocked before you even address to those sites which is containing the malware. Which this solution as well has a very interesting dashboard with comprehensive analytics and productivity feedback, so that we can put into value to the end customer that they are receiving this service and how they are using the internet and which are the kind of sites that have been blocked and the malware that has been blocked, so that we can bring into value the service of BeSafe Smart. And it's completely CPE agnostic. This means it's compatible with 99% of CPEs because it's DNS resolution based. so that we can provide this advanced security or our advanced layer of security and protection to the web surfer. Why Teldat decided to launch this new service is because we started checking about statistics. And what we see is that most of the small and medium businesses are currently more concerned than ever about cybersecurity. They are planning further investments. So we think that we need to provide some cybersecurity solutions to those customers. And what we tried to do was understanding why those small and medium businesses, why those maybe education sector, hospitality sector, were not investing enough in cybersecurity, because many of you might know that there has been a huge amount of cybersecurity solutions during the last years in the market. But at the end, there are a lot of small and medium businesses which are not investing. So the first thing we did was, okay, let's try to understand which are the constraints for these guys. And some of the statistics that we found from 2 years ago was saying that they don't have enough budget, so they need some kind of cost-effective security solution, and they couldn't understand in a proper way the top-edge solutions that we could find in the market. The cybersecurity is complex, and you need to have a specific experts and a specific know-how. So what happened is, at the end, those small and medium businesses were not investing in having cybersecurity staff, or they didn't have enough know-how inside their company. So ideally, BeSafe Smart is trying to address exactly this. It's a very cost-effective solution, which is going to provide this protection level that the small and medium businesses is looking for and are willing to invest, but in a very cost-effective way and in a very easy-to-use interface. So if you have seen the videos from the product pitch, as you can see in the demo, from the application of the mobile, they can select exactly which is the kind of filters they want to enable in our solution. And it's really comprehensive for a small and medium business if they are not savvy in communications. And it's very easy to deploy for resellers and distributors to address those kind of small and medium businesses. At the end, BeSafe Smart is we believe is one of the easiest ways to become a value-added distributor. It's going to help distributors and resellers to offer added value services without needing to deploy any hardware, or by using the hardware they have already deployed, and without needing any intensive training or deployment operations. So we're going to have a very fast time to market, no hardware, cloud delivered, remote deployment, without any initial investment. It's just a monthly fee, it's sold as a service. It's going to be self-managed almost by end customers. So we are going to provide the management interface to the end customer. So if some end customer wants to self-manage, that's going to be possible. But as well, the resellers or distributor can provide some management services on top of that. And it's a very competitive security offering. It's protecting 99% of the sites that we know that they're having some malware on those sites. So that there is an advanced dictionary behind the tool, which is having all those sites identified, and every new site with bad reputation is automatically classified into different type of malwares. It's going to be very cost effective, and it includes not only the malware part or the security part, but as well content filtering and analytics. Now I'm going to speak as well about Visualiser. Visualiser is a solution which intention is to give information about the usage of the network, how the customers are using their network, how the customers are using their services that are paying to the resellers, system integrators, their carriers, etc. So it's opening doors for those resellers which have to upsell new services, which want to do some upselling of consulting services, or for some distributors that are thinking on opening up a little bit more the market and bringing into value some differentiator facts against some bigger carriers in the market. Visualiser is giving a complete level 7 visibility. So we're going to speak about applications, not so much as IP or ports. It's as well giving, it's using the same dictionary as BeSafe Smart in behind. So it's giving a classification of that traffic, providing, for example, if the type of traffic that we're seeing through the network is spyware, is phishing, is some kind of threat. So it's going to help on understanding the level of protection that the end customer is having. It's going to be very visual, easy to be used, easy to understand. It has a hierarchy so that we can map the information with the business processes of our customers, and we can generate reports to provide information in a monthly basis to our customers to bring into value the service we're providing. It's multi-vendor as well, so it's you don't need to tell that hardware for Visualiser to work, but you can use third-party hardware which is supporting IPFix or NetFlow protocols, such as we could say other vendors, top leading vendors like Cisco are supporting these protocols. And it's a multi-tier, so we can be managed from the distributor to the reseller to the end customer. We can play with all these three partners, three stakeholders, type of stakeholders in the value chain. What can we do with Visualiser? First of all, increase our knowledge, knowing how we're using the network, anticipate to investment, knowing if there are some trends of using more the network than we used before, and therefore forecasting if we need to invest in growing up the network, or maybe understanding some behaviors which could cause some problems in the future. We can advance to that and anticipate investment and anticipate to the problems. Of course, we can see the performance. We can detect bottlenecks that we're having in the infrastructure, or otherwise, or we can detect some use cases where we are over-investing in some places where there is not actually a problem. It's very business oriented. So as I mentioned, the hierarchy system is going to help us to understand the problems of the network, to understand the usage of the network, but related with the business from the different departments of the end customer. And of course, it's going to help on cost reduction. It's going to help on adjust investment and to take better decisions of the communications infrastructure that we want to deploy. I brought this slide just to speak about some of the examples. So for example, if I'm having a problem and I want to know what's happening, typically the problem is that there is some user that is not being able to access to a specific application. Okay, Visualiser is going to tell us what's happening there. Well, how is that traffic of that specific application or that traffic from that user going through, and how is that moving? I would like to understand as a company which are the applications that I'm using more, to understand if I am paying, for example, for some Office license, but no one is using Office. No, this is a very straight example. There are other examples which with Visualiser we could see. Or if we are using the network according to our business, or if the employees or the people are using the network to watch Netflix, but we are not investing for that. Or if the infrastructure is well sized, or is the people using the last application that I'm pushing internally? I mean, I'm in the middle of a digital transformation plan. I'm pushing to the employees to use new applications, but are they using them? Okay, with Visualiser, we are going to be able to see that information, or we can see if there has been a new application that we are pushing, and that application is starting to consume a huge amount of bandwidth. For example, I remember when we deployed OneDrive as a corporate tool in Teldat, during the first 2-3 days, there was a problem because all the computers were automatically uploading a huge amount of content. So most of the bandwidth that we had in our company was somehow blocked or covered or used by this OneDrive application. We can detect that. We can start deploying a new application and say, oh, this application is very intensive in bandwidth consumption. Therefore, I need to be ready and have the infrastructure ready for that. We can as well understand if there is someone addressing or accessing some content which shouldn't be accessed by this person, or if there is some malware going through the network. At the end, a Visualiser is going to complete your networking toolkit. You're providing, for sure, many of you are providing some hardware, some communication devices already, some routers from different vendors. Well, the idea for Visualiser is providing a new solution which is going to help the resellers to understand how they use the hardware, the devices that they are purchasing from the distributors. And it's going to be very easy to deploy as well. It's fast time to market. It's hardware agnostic, compatible with all those technologies that are all those vendors which are supporting IPFix or NetFlow. It's cloud delivered. It's remote deployment. You don't need to go on site to deploy this. There is no initial investment, as it's as well as a service, and it's going to give recurring value to the end customer. So the end customer, after investing on the communication, they are going to understand why they have invested in a monthly basis, and they can understand how are they using the previous investment. And as well, it's going to enable our partners of resellers to do some technical sales. They can understand better the usage of the network by their customers, and therefore they can do some better consulting. They can address in a better way the pains and gains, and therefore upsell other pieces of the portfolio that they could have. Last but not least, IoT as a service, BeAir, is our solution to provide air quality information. So we're gonna, it's a solution which is mainly consisting on deploying some sensors, which are going to be measuring the air quality, measuring not only the CO2, so that we can see how many people are there, and therefore how easy it is to propagate or to have some virus propagating through the air, but as well we are going to be measuring the pollution, for example, for some industrial environments and other organic compounds, and temperature and humidity. How BeAir is sold? BeAir is sold as a bundle. So this bundle is including the device plus the management platform and a mobile application for management from the reseller to the end customer. It's wireless, full wireless. It can be connected through Wi-Fi or through a narrowband IoT. It includes the module for narrowband IoT and this WAN communications for 10 years already prepaid in this bundle, which has this box, which is a high accurate CO2 sensor, which can provide as well temperature, humidity, and PM 0.5 information of the air. And it's going to provide integrated reports and alerts to our customers. For example, there is a LED in the hardware that can immediately to the restaurant announce, hey, you have here a red, you need to open the windows. Or you need to stop bringing people into the restaurant, or you need to you are having some kind of other problem in the factory, you need to bring the employees out of the factory. At the end, it helps to control air quality in indoor spaces and waiting areas. It's really interesting nowadays that after we are suffering this pandemic of COVID-19, and it could become even mandatory in many areas in the market in the next months, because this is not only useful for COVID, but it's going to be useful as well for prevention of many other diseases in many areas. At the end, there is no hidden cost. It's 10 years prepaid. You just pay 249 euros. You get the full bundle, and that full bundle is going to be working for 10 years. And working with the solution with the management tool as well. And here you can see the technical data. It's not a big sensor. It's 5 centimeters to 10 centimeters. So it's almost a size that we can deploy almost everywhere in a room. You have this Wi-Fi, the huge action rate, so we can measure up to 200 or 250 cubic meters of air. And it brings all the sensors that we've mentioned with a very low power consumption, 2 watts and only 5 volts needed to connect. So you can see here some examples of how the box looks like. So it's very easy. It's not going to be very ugly. It's easy to deploy everywhere. And the kind of information that you will get through the application, through a mobile application, you see the CO2 values, the temperature, humidity, and other values, and how they are behaving along the time. Well, this is all for today on my side.